guys, welcome back to my channel where we spill tea left, right, and everywhere in between. In addition to spilling hot tea on a daily basis, we also do these deep dive mini documentary type videos where we dive into a topic or a person and give you a pretty detailed background on who they are, their art, and all of their dramas, of course. Today's deep dive topic is none other than Miss Azealia Banks herself. After we posted the Grimes deep dive, a lot of you expressed some interest in Miss Banks, so we heard ya and here we are. Before we get into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell as I do post every single day. Head over to the Hot Tea Twitter account where you can follow us and send us any tea or topics that you would like us to cover. Alright, get comfy, grab a snack, and let's get into the tea. Azealia is a rapper, singer, songwriter, and actress born in New York, 91. Like most in her era, Azealia started her music career by posting on MySpace back in 2008. She did sign with some labels, but it never seemed to go quite right for her, so she branched out and started her own label, Chaos and Glory Recording. Azelia's father passed away from pancreatic cancer when she was 2, so she was raised by her single mother, whom Azealia claimed was physically and verbally abusive. Azealia has shared a lot about the rocky relationship between herself and her mother, speaking to numerous news platforms and websites, as well as her classic and trademark style of sharing on social media. Quick plug here, you guys, if you missed the Grimes deep dive, Azealia features quite heavily in that video as she had huge drama with Grimes and Elon Musk, so don't forget to check out that video. I'll link it down below. So let's talk a little bit about Azelia's relationship with her mother. In August 2020, Azealia shared text messages between herself and her mother that paint a while vague, sad, and rather aggressive relationship between the two. I'm going to throw these up here and pause to read as there is a lot to get through on this topic today. It seems that it didn't take much for her mother to snap back at her, and the same can be said for Azelia's reaction as well. Very clearly, there are some deep-seated issues between the two of them. When Azealia posted these, she captioned, "This is also why I'm extremely stressed out 24/7. My mother has been wishing death on me, saying I'm a piece of shit just like my father since I was 3 years old. This is an extremely toxic relationship I have to cut off. She's using the potential deaths of my other 2 dogs, Chicken and Salt, as collateral yet again." Azealia sharing on social media to this extent is something that becomes a rather common thread throughout our story today, so I did a little pinch of research on this. Apparently, those who tend to overshare on social media often have narcissistic tendencies or feel that they are inadequate or have something to prove. Some people overshare on social media for attention, but some do it because they feel that they're not really heard in their natural life and more so on their social media platforms. It makes sense to me, given the suggested nature of her relationship with her mother, that Azealia may have developed this habit of oversharing on social media from a young age. If Azealia started on MySpace back in 2008, that would have made her about 16 years old, which is very young to begin in the public eye. It's possible that Azealia found comfort and support way more online than she did at home. An article on Vibe.com details her childhood as one that had her experiencing physical abuse from her mother, including allegedly being attacked with baseball bats and getting into fistfights. Azealia even details a time when she saw her mother threaten an ex-boyfriend with, quote, cutting his dick off and putting it in a pan with some onion and peppers when she discovered he cheated. Toxic and turbulent to say the least, right? In the Vibe article, they note that Azealia would be abused by her mother, who would then buy her gifts afterwards. She said she was, quote, such an unhappy kid. The act of abuse and then gift giving by an abuser is often referred to as love bombing. This can leave the victim with a false sense of stability and love from an abuser. Azealia got into stripping and ended up sleeping with married and older men, even having a sexual relationship with a 56-year-old man when she was only 17. Now, I'm no psychologist, and I certainly do not claim to be mad educated in this field, but this could have been Azelia's way of coping with her childhood and possibly the result of her toxic upbringing. It's not uncommon for women to fall into dark avenues after going through the things that Azealia did. I just think this is something to note as we move on. 2016 had quite a few controversies for Miss Banks, including being thrown off planes for aggressive and violent behavior, as well as being called out for racist and homophobic behavior online, as well as in person. Azealia took to Twitter to rant about former One Direction member Zayn Malik. She tweeted about Zayn's newest music video at the time, Like I Would, implying that it had a lot of similarities to some of her past videos and looks. Azealia got poisonous with this, calling him a sand N-word and a F-word, and accusing him of giving out personal information on Periscope. Zayn eventually tweeted Azealia wondering what the fuck was going on, saying, "Azealia Banks, why you been saying nasty things about me? I wasn't talking about you, lol." Zayn's response seemed to just ignite Azealia further, and she said, quote, "Do you understand that you are a sand N-word who emulates white boys' rendition of black malehood?" Her insults and attacks didn't just stop with Zayn. Azealia came for British rap as a whole, saying that British rappers, quote, never have swag and that they are a disgrace to the genre as a whole. Ironically, Azealia was scheduled to perform at the Born and Bred Hip Hop Festival with a headlining spot. She was, of course, dropped from this festival, and the organizers released a statement saying, quote, "We have decided to cancel Azealia Banks' headline appearance, and we celebrate inclusivity and equality. Shout out to a company for calling it as it is instead of just staying silent on that." Allegedly, Azealia was banned on Twitter because of all of this, but this is not confirmed, and it is unclear if she deleted the account herself. She apparently did take to Instagram though, posting possible references to the ban, but I really can't find anything on that to be fully transparent with you, and as of right now, I can only find fan accounts on Twitter. Before the alleged suspension though, she rolled this beef into another one, turning her attention to Sky Jackson. Sky inserted herself and offered defense to Zayn after seeing the back and forth, only to find herself at the brunt end of Azealia's aggressive rants. At the time, Sky was 14 years old, but that really didn't matter to Azealia, and she didn't hold back with the insults. I'm going to throw up a collage here of the tweet exchanges that I found on archive.ph between these two, so you can pause to have a quick read over that. For context, Azealia was about 25 when all of this happened. Other Twitter explosions in the past include rapper Whale, Kendrick Lamar, and Loop Fiasco. I detail this in this portion of this mini doc because I think it is relevant to what we were talking about before with the dependent relationship with the internet and being overly comfortable with sharing on social media. I believe that in Azealia's generation, it was a super common thing to find that people ran to social media to express themselves and to express all of themselves, the good, the bad, and the ugly. In July 2016, there was a bit of an uproar to do with Azealia bleaching / lightening her skin. From what I understand, this could be a form of internalized racism. This is something that often happens to victims of racism who then internalize it and develop, quote, ideas, beliefs, actions, and behaviors that collude with racism. I'm going to link the full article on colorism by Cheryl S. Grant in the description, as it is a great read for anyone interested. I'll also include the link to the full article on internalized racism that has had so many helpful links as well. I'm not going to insert any type of opinion or anything on this particular topic, as I just don't feel it's appropriate for me to have a say at all. So I'm just going to tell you the facts and what happened and what was said. For this specifically, I would really love to see some comments on this topic, either pointing me in the direction of what this is all about or sharing your own knowledge / experiences. Just like I said last time, I hope this can be a place not to hate but to educate. Okay, so in July 2016, Azealia apparently retracted her initial support of using skin lightening products. She had posted a video to Facebook reasoning her decision to do this to her skin, saying that no one had a problem with her wearing weaves and tearing out her edges, so quote, what's the difference? She later says, quote, I finally am back to my natural tone. I got curious / desperate and experimented with literally every skin bleaching / lightening / brightening product on the market. It's been a long road, but I finally figured out a good exfoliating / brightening regimen that doesn't look bleachy. I do feel this is important to include in the deep dive of Azealia's background. Again, comments are open to this topic of discussion, and I would love to read any input anyone has on this. In December 2016, Azealia shared on Facebook that she had suffered a miscarriage. She detailed that she was feeling a lot of emotions, including a little depression, guilt, and shame. In this post, she expresses some self-awareness by saying, quote, so I've just had a really major life event happen, and I want to talk about it because this wouldn't be an Azealia Banks page without loads of oversharing, right? This remark kind of stays with me and makes me feel like it's slightly defensive because she knows that people will say she's oversharing, but I really really think that she just wanted to talk to someone about this. Like we were discussing earlier, it's not unlike her character to overshare online, which she's clearly aware of, but the reasoning behind this oversharing I really feel can be attributed to her childhood and upbringing. I can only imagine the pain and fear tied to something as severe as a miscarriage, and I only imagine how that pain and fear could be intensified if going through that alone. When I originally did some research on Azealia for the Grimes video, I thought this person was super attention seeking and honestly a little annoying with the constant posting. And I thought going into this deep dive, there would be a lot more for us to sort of laugh at and be a little shocked over, you know, hot tea style. But the more I read about Azealia, the more I think that she's honestly lonely and a little sad and a lot misunderstood. In December 2016, Azealia sparked rumors of practicing witchcraft after posting a video of her cleaning out her closet that was riddled with animal remains, among other things. She openly says in the video that there is 3 years worth of, quote, brujeria, which is the Spanish word for witchcraft in there, and, quote, real witches do real things. This sparked pop star Sia to come for Azealia, posting, sacrificing animals for your gain is the wackest shit I've ever heard. Get ahead by being awesome, kind, and working hard. This, of course, was not ignored by Azealia, who snapped back saying that Sia's face was ugly, pasty, and dry, and the ugliest face she had ever seen. She continued demanding that Sia not disrespect her traditional African religion. All posts have been deleted, of course. The brujeria seems to have continued into December 2020. Azealia sparked controversy with fans and followers after posting a video to Instagram where she digs up and cooks her dead cat. Can we do an eye bleach right now, like prior to this part? I know we normally do it at the end, but can we just look at something cute real quick? I need it. Okay, so the video was deleted, of course, and even if it wasn't, I'm not gonna post that here, but I will give you a description of what happened. The video was captioned, Lucifer 2009 to 2020. My dear kitty, thank you for everything. A legend, an icon, forever a serval serve. Rumors flew around that Azealia actually ate her cat, but she confirmed during an interview that she in fact did not eat Lucifer, and the boiling was for taxidermy purposes. So, just a side note here, we all know that Farrah and Gabby are doing a podcast, right? I don't think that many of us are super into that or very excited, but what are your opinions on Azealia and Trisha doing a podcast? Could you imagine, like just for a second, Trisha Paytas and Azealia Banks, the podcast? They could call it Bitchcraft or something. Who's on board for this? So following all of that, we of course have the Grimes and Elon drama, which we won't go into here, but check out that video if you want to. And now let's jump to August 2022. Trigger warning. This part of the video is going to include some discussions of suicide. If this is a triggering topic to you, pause here and check the description where I will include the timestamp so you can skip this part. Azealia left fans worried that she was going to unalive herself after posting an Instagram story saying things like, yeah, I think I'm done here. She says that the pandemic and extreme lack of social interaction / intimacy combined with constant public ridicule is making life harder than it's worth. In these posts, she says that she's not looking for attention and she is just ready to go, quote, peacefully, of course. She inputs here that she will document her last days and release a film so we can all finally understand here. This is really scary and kind of loops back to my initial point of Azealia finding comfort on social media due to a lack of intimacy in her natural life. And she basically opens up and says the same thing here. Fans took to Twitter and shared their support for her, which is really nice to see, but I think this is something that we should do more often, not just when someone is down. Now, this is a tea channel. I call people out and poke fun at things here and there, but when everything boils down to it, these are people that we're talking about. Please, I'm asking you guys not to hate in the comments, not just because my feelings might get hurt maybe, which is whatever, but also because there are others who read those and you just never know what someone is going through. To think that unaliving or euthanasia is the only way out because you're tired or over it is a very dark place to be. Let's just all remember that we are here together, and while spilling tea is fun, let's not destroy each other. And I mean that when I talk about everyone, even Keemstar, damn. Azealia released a disturbing audio file where she explains that she is over her ideas getting stolen and she is seeking options for, quote, voluntary euthanasia. She is clearly slurring a little bit, and it's possible that she may be under the influence, but that doesn't dull the dark place that she's clearly in during this audio file. I'll play a little bit of it here, and again, this is a trigger warning to any of you that may find this type of discussion disturbing.
My decision is made. The decision is made, you know? I'm just gonna really try to push through these next couple months. This is some pleasure, you know. Back and funny with the stems. I'm just gonna debo, and it's gonna just come out as a mixtape with 2 tracks, whatever. Young Rapunzel, I'll just stitch that up, put it together. I'm finally give you a fantasy too, and then I'm gonna like start looking for like voluntary euthanasia options. I'm looking for voluntary euthanasia options because, you know, I don't have any more defense.
In February 2021, Azealia announced that she was engaged to artist Ryder Ripps. Azealia and Ryder made headlines when they uploaded an audio sex tape. What? And sold it as an NFT for $17,000. Like, damn, okay. It is said to be a 24-minute long audio of Azealia and Ryder having sex that was sold to artist Ralton Fider for 10 Ethereum, which is a cryptocurrency which converts to about $17,000. Fider is an anonymous artist who apparently specializes in the recontextualization of other artists' work to, quote, capture time and emotion in the NFT art realm. I guess that explains the purchase of this audio from Azealia and Ryder. The sex tape is now being resold for over $260 million. What? Like, what? Since the audio sex tape, Azealia actually split from fiancé, saying that he was too insecure for her, and even posted a story saying that she was going to be keeping the ring. When the couple initially got engaged, Azealia posted on Instagram, obviously super excited, showing off the ring that features a menorah design, as Ryder is Jewish. She said on Instagram that she is, quote, Jewish now, unquote, Mazel Tov, bitches, we in here. Oh my god, see what I mean about her and Trisha working together? It would just be absolute mayhem. But anyway, after the split, Azealia posted to her Instagram story after the news of the split saying, quote, I am keeping this menorah ring though, and the heirloom is mine, the juicy dive lives on. Since all of this, Azealia has been booked for shows and festivals and is doing her music thing, which is obviously what she loves doing the most. People speculate that Azelia's negative online presence gets more attention than her music, and I really hope for the sake of Azelia's mental health and future that she ignores shit like that. There is really a lot of happiness in the world, and maybe a little harmless online drama is part of that, but let's not with the homophobia or racism or the super hurtful stuff, and just remember that you never know what someone else is going through. After that, like, I literally don't care. I need thigh bleach, so enjoy this clip with me, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel as I post new videos every single day. Hit me up on the Hot Tea Twitter account if there's a deep dive topic that you want me to get into, or if you have some juicy gossip that you want to share. Enjoy the clip and be nice to each other.